Welcome to 2Cents FC. I'm your host, Mobio Kugo, with my guy, L. Each week, we'll be discussing topics from around the soccer world and giving you our unfiltered thoughts and opinions. This week, we'll be discussing San Diego Loyal's loyalty to their teammates, U.S. Women's National Team's exodus to Europe, and U.S. Women's National Team's starting 11 of the future. This week, we're joined by a good friend, star forward for Houston Dash, Jamia Fields. Jamia, thank you for coming on. I know it's been a while. We know you're really busy. How you doing today?
Good. How are y'all? I'm excited to be here.
Nah, thank you. Yeah, it took a while, but we're so happy to have you. So give us some background. How did you get your start into soccer? I know you're from SoCal, which is a big soccer community, but how'd you get your start?
Okay, so I came from a pretty athletic family. My dad, my mom, they played sports, so kind of just threw me soccer stuff. I also played tennis and some other things I tried out, but soccer, I started doing it really competitively. And yeah, soccer in Southern California is pretty good for youth soccer. So, and then went to Florida State all the way across the country for college. Great career there, national championship. That was really cool. And then led into my pro career, and I played on multiple teams. I don't know if you want me to go into all that.
Well, first I want to ask you, so what club team you play for SoCal? Because I know there's some historic club teams.
Yes, Real SoCal.
Oh, okay, respect. Yeah, we had some.
That's what I ended with, and I'm probably gonna disappoint a lot of club coaches. I was on it 3 maybe. I started with Arsenal and Rancho, okay, and then I went to Pasadena. I played for Barcelona, Sharif. I don't know.
Sharif? You played for Sharif too? Oh yeah, he's famous. Even though I'm not from SoCal, he's yeah.
I still talk to him.
He's famous. That's crazy. No, you got to go where you wanted, whether it's at the youth level or college or even pro. Exactly. But how did you get convinced to go all the way across the country? That's what I want to know.
You see, I was a homebody in high school, so I am shocked at my decision. But honestly, I took my visits. I didn't, and I'm so thankful, because if I only stuck with California schools, I wouldn't have, went to Florida State and experienced just I don't know, it's just a different culture out there, different type of people. And it's honestly what I needed, growing up in Rancho Cucamonga. It's just polar opposites of Tallahassee. Yeah. So I'm just that's what I needed. And that's why I encourage all high school looking to go to college to don't stay confined into your comfort zone when you're choosing.
Okay, respect. So what other advice would you have for young girls in the soccer space, looking to follow your career?
So making decisions outside of my comfort zone really helped me grow. And so I would encourage those who are younger and trying to, make the decision on what's best for them. Just don't be afraid for change, really, and to, really take a leap of faith.
No, respect. So, we originally met because, you was doing a really cool project with Uninterrupted, and I was there, doing an internship. Talk about some of the stuff that you're doing off the field.
Yeah, so I have my other interest besides soccer is fashion. So I have been collaborating with a lot of brands, or in the works of collaborating with some brands. So Saturday's football right now, we are cooking something good. I'm going to be able to design some pieces, which is really exciting, because that's something I would want to do in the future. And to be able to, start with a brand who's just really cool and's got it going on their own already. So that will be pretty soon. And it's also a dream of mine to have a brand of my own, like I said. And just a lot of, with just social justice going on right now, I've really found my voice with that as well. So being able to also collaborate with brands to support the Black community, support Black business, has really been something I've been doing lately and want to continue doing.
No, that's really amazing. Specifically about the social injustice, being a Black female athlete, did you have any crazy stories or stories that, that weren't really talked about growing up, and then now, you feel like you have a platform to kind of share?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them weren't talked about, and that's the issue, because if they were all just suppressed, I feel like. And so I never talked about the feelings of maybe being one of the only Black girls on my teams growing up. And going to Florida State, that really helped me. There was multiple Black girls on my team, Black women on my team there. So it was a different culture, and I grew a lot. But, growing up and only having the conversations inside my family about race, and then this year hits and I'm having so many conversations about, race, and it is a step in the right direction, but it's also so new for me, and finding my voice has been hard, but great at the same time. So, yeah.
No, it's really amazing to see what you've done and other athletes in the space. One thing I do commend, especially for the U.S. based women athletes, you guys do a tremendous job, with your platform. Talk about, the deals that you guys do in terms of like what makes the right deal, how you guys are outspoken, and then like what makes you choose what platform you want to go into.
So do you mean how do I choose what platform, as like on Instagram, and like what brands?
Instagram, or what brands you want to collaborate with, like Saturday's Football or Beam,
right,
or the social injustice platforms?
Right. So yeah, I feel like I've been really using my platform on Instagram, and I'm just like, okay, I don't, I feel like a lot of the excuses like, oh, I don't have that many followers, or is anybody listening? And I was just like, for me, and my best advice is like, there's always someone listening. And if it just affects, or, one person hears it, that's good enough. So that encouraged me to use my voice. And so, but like, as far as brands, I mean, the ones that are committed to, so if it's like maybe a white business owner brand who is just willing to give like someone like me, a Black woman or a Black athlete, male or female, just a voice, just like, hey, I have the brand, I'm gonna give you the floor almost. And so I feel like those are the brands I've been liking to collaborate with, who aren't really trying to control how we really collaborate, but just really like, okay, I have the brand, but I want to give you the floor to get out whatever message you want to, because I might not be able to understand what you're going through. So.
Oh, that's really cool. And then let's bring it back to soccer, because you guys just came off winning the bubble title, right? That was the and then now you guys in the fall series. Talk about that experience, playing in the bubble, grinding in altitude at that, and then now playing in the fall series.
Yeah, the altitude. I never, being there for a month, I never got used to it. So let's start there. But I mean, that was crazy. It was a really crazy experience. And you might see everywhere that other leagues were the first to do it, but we were the first to do it in WSL. So
respect. Yep.
Very proud, and no COVID test. So, I mean, positive. So that was great. But no, it was hard mentally, because, you can't go as far as the parking lot to go on a walk, and you're just really confined in that space, and then you have to go out and perform. So it was tough. But there were multiple times during quarantine when the pandemic first started out that like we didn't think we were going to have a season. So I feel like everyone, at least on Houston, we were just thankful that we were getting to play. So that helped us get through like the adversity of being in the bubble.
Oh, that's really cool. El, you got any questions?
No, man, you got it covered.
No. Yeah,
one thing. So looking through your Instagram, I see you're a big sneakerhead.
Yeah.
What is kind of drawing you to like the sneaker culture?
Okay, so I always like get the question like, when did you start liking fashion or sneakers? And I'm just like, I don't really remember when it hit, but my brother always had sneakers, and my dad, and they kind of just rubbed off on me. And so, yeah, I just love it. I think it's a good problem to have. I don't know about my bank account, but
yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So, if you had like an all-star of like football fashionistas, who's on that list?
Ooh, okay.
Men or women, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, men or women. I'm just gonna stick with women right now because female empowerment. I I feel like the national team has some players who like fashion, but like I'm on my team since I've been around them so much. I feel like Jane Campbell, she's on my team. She has so many sneakers. I mean, way more than me. And then I feel like Christy Mewis, she is different style than I would say Jane or mine, but like it's good. You know, she's got it going on as well. So
Okay. Yeah, you're putting yourself on the list, I hope, right?
oh yeah, I thought that was
Gotta throw yourself on the
You're like,
list.
oh yeah, that's no.
there.
Respect. Okay.
I thought I was already on the list.
Yeah, respect. Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Okay. Respect. Yeah, so let's jump into the topics. Elle, take us away.
Okay. So recently, speaking of social justice, San Diego Loyola have been proving their loyalty to their team and to their cause. Just last week, the USWNT championship side forfeited their match in the 71st minute against the LA Galaxy 2 due to one of their players being subjected to a racial slur. So the Loyals chairman, Andrew Vasilidis, made a statement regarding the matter. He said, "We don't even want to recognize being a part of a match where these types of actions take place. The Loyal in our name is symbolic of the diversity in our community, and as a club, we will not stand for this." And so just yesterday, the Loyal walked off the field again against Phoenix Rising because one of Phoenix's players, used a homophobic slur towards one of the Loyal players. And so another statement or the tweet from the Loyal's account is, in the first half, a member of Phoenix Rising used a homophobic slur directed at Colin Martin. In response, we have decided to walk off the pitch in protest. Last week, we made it loud and clear that we do not stand for racism or homophobia. Nothing has changed this week. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on the situation. We've seen racist and homophobic situations happen all over the world of soccer. But with the Loyals response has been pretty rare. You don't really see teams actually, taking action. So I want to get you guys' response to that, and like, what do you think?
You want to take it first, Jamia?
Yeah, I can go first. Okay. I mean, respect to them, because I feel like for so many years, I mean, maybe even before we were all born, like everything's just brushed over, things happen and no one takes action, and that's why it continues to happen. So for the 71st minute to be like, okay, no, we're not standing for this, like that's huge. And people are like, that's huge, and that's going to make a change for, other teams and other people in those situations. I mean, and it's like, and then to do it again as well for homophobia, which is, another topic, is, I think it's amazing. Respect to them, because this is what's going to drive change. It really is.
Yeah, I completely agree. Respect to San Diego Loyola. I know a bunch of guys on that team, and for them to forfeit, especially that late in the season when like points are on the line, it just shows like it's bigger than soccer. And if you guys saw the clip, Coach Landon Donovan like made that clear. It's like, we're not going to stand for this. Personally, me, if I was on the field, I would definitely want to play that second half, and I would just be targeting all those players. Like, you're going to have to give me a red card, because I would switch my cleats at halftime. I would put my studs on. And I was like, if this is going to happen, then let's make it happen. Yeah. Because, some people, sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt me. Like, that's a cool saying in the past, but it's not anymore. And I'm going on a rant because I get riled up by this. Yeah, it would be bad. That's all I'm going to say.
And what's crazy is the Loyal were up 3-1 against Phoenix when they forfeited at the half. Exactly. So they were already smacking them, and then to give up that was basically a win. To give up that win and, in turn have a forfeit, very admirable. But Jamia, we have a listener question. So Donald Wine on Twitter wanted to know your thoughts or your reaction to the response of social justice from your team and teammates, or even like the NWSL. Do you feel supported? Are they listening? Are they learning? Do you feel they can do more? Like, how do you feel? How do you feel the response has been?
Well, the response from my team has been great. My teammates, it's been huge. Just so many conversations, so many meetings. People are listening, and I do feel supported. It's, it's always a battle when you have to walk into the field and be like, okay, I'm just going to train today with, but there's everything going on outside of, outside the field. There's shootings happening. And so it's hard to lock in. And sometimes you don't feel supported because maybe there's not that many other Black women around you. So in that sense, I'm like, maybe people don't understand what I'm going through. But I do think that people are trying to understand, even though they can't, that whole saying. But yeah, I mean, we're trying to do things here in Houston as well, where we're emerging ourselves into the Black community to really try to, because there's a huge Black community here in Houston. So we're doing good over here, I feel.
No, respect. And to touch on that, it's going to be interesting to see how USL responds to the most recent allegations, because obviously Phoenix, I don't really think they've done a great job so far. They've just retweeted the player and the coach defending the statement that they said they didn't make. So it'll be interesting. They said they're going to do an investigation, but much like Jamia just said, the response has to be positive.
Right.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting situation, especially with the coach being caught on a hot mic saying,
it's like, yo,
it's part of the game. Like, wrong answer, bro.
Oh my gosh. Wait, oh wow, that's crazy.
And then he doubled down on it. It was like, oh yeah, my bad. That's not what was intended when I said that. Like, bro, we heard you. Like, you said it.
And you were wearing your mask wrong.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, there was a situation in Utah a couple weeks ago with the owner. I don't know if you guys heard about that. The owner of Utah.
Oh, yeah.
And that just, I mean, and I just respect for the players on Utah just really making a statement and just not standing for it. And that's what we need. That's what we need. Because sometimes, I mean, people, they don't know. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know what to say.
Like, make it make sense, please.
Right, please. Right.
For sure. All right. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk U.S. women's national team. So over the summer, we've seen some of the U.S. women's national team's biggest names opt out of the NWSL fall season and sign deals in Europe. So we got Sam Mewis and Rose Lavelle to Man City, Tobin Heath and Kristen Press to Man United, and then Alex Morgan to Tottenham. So do you think this is a good or a bad thing for NWSL?
Well, since it's been such a weird season, I mean, I don't think their decision is like terrible. I mean, obviously we want the best players in the league, but obviously everyone's journey is different. What might be great for them might not be great for the league. Like I can't really judge their decisions, and it seems like good opportunities. But the league is, I think the biggest goal is just keep it competitive, and there's still a lot of great players playing in this fall series, and a lot of players getting opportunity who maybe usually wouldn't. So I think there's positives out of it for both people, like both sides, whoever's going and who's staying. So.
Talk about your experience, because you played in Europe as well before it got kind of popular. So talk about your experience playing in Europe and then coming back to NWSL.
Yeah, so I went to Norway. It was so cold. I always start with that because I'm just like, I just have to, I just applaud myself for getting through that. I was born in California, went to Florida State. Like, I don't do the cold.
Keep going.
So it was, I mean, but Europe, I love Europe. I really do. It was always a goal of mine to go play in Europe. Didn't matter where. So and I kind of went when playing, I was just kind of like I said, like when I was feeling an uncomfortable moment where I'm like, should I go? And I just went, and it was one of the best situations for me in my journey. I'm so happy I got to experience great coffee, great food. The style of play is different in Norway. It's way more direct, I would say. But I mean, it's cool to see different styles. And we got to do Champions League. We played in Champions League. So we got to play Lyon. They were so good.
Oh yeah.
They were so good. We lost, but it's fine.
Yeah, they had a squad.
Yeah, they really do. But yeah, it was a good experience for me.
That's crazy because I had a couple of friends playing in Norway. They just tell me like, so the sun never comes down, right?
It doesn't come down. I was tripped out by that.
Unbelievable.
It was, and you have to have the blackout curtain, so you're good with that. But I'm like, I'm already a night owl, so like
Yeah.
the sun's not going down. I'm like, do I ever sleep or what?
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've seen, especially in Europe, a lot of the big name clubs have started women's teams. So how do we keep this talent? How do we keep the talent in America stateside? How do we keep, because every soccer player like has a dream of playing in Europe at some point, maybe. So how do we keep the talent stateside without getting yourself in trouble? Like, what can the NWSL do?
Right. Well, yeah, without getting myself in trouble. So, I mean, everyone wants to play in a league where it's competitive, right? But also you want to feel like a professional. So I think making each team and the environment feel like you are just, like that you're top class and so I feel like the clubs over there are doing that, or they're starting to do that. So we just need to jump on that, because there were times where like years ago where, you just think, okay, maybe like college was more professional, or like for me, like Florida State, I feel like it was a really professional environment. So sometimes at some points I'm like, wait, college was more professional. But so like I shouldn't be having those thoughts. I should never have those thoughts. So just making sure that, we feel like we are the top women's league in the United States or in the world, that will keep players here. So
Respect.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. I think that would solve the issue.
Right. So, but there's long ways to go. There's a lot of growth that needs to happen. But I'm optimistic.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see more of it. We'll see, as the league's expanding, we're starting to see more teams come in. So hopefully, we'll see a lot more infrastructure as well. You got Louisville City building a big training facility and stuff like that. So
it looks
leveling
sick.
up.
And then LA coming in 2 years, and they just like the owners seeing who like on board and wants to invest in women's soccer. That's huge too.
Yeah, I can imagine there's a lot of like
phone calls being made.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of player excitement wanting to head over to SoCal.
Great place. Great place to be.
Right. Oh, another thing though. So seeing as women's sports unfortunately isn't paid to the same level as men's sports, what are some things that you guys do to, I guess, supplement your income?
Well, for me, I do a lot of social media situations where, like collaborating with brands and whatnot. That helps me. But I don't know. I don't have many teammates who have like side jobs or anything like that. But I think it's just like really important to like focus on your brand and who you want to be outside of soccer, because obviously that comes to an end at some point. And so that's what I've really been focusing on, finding my other passions. And so it's not like, when I decide to retire, not like a huge like what do I do now, but also within it, make some money with my other passions as well, not just in soccer. So
okay. And one way to boost your brand is to make the U.S. Women's National Team. So that can be a huge brand boost. So
yep.
Speaking of like the next generation, I want to get your insights on who you think we do like a mock starting 11. This isn't any particular ranking, but of who you think would be is next up for the women's national team.
Okay. Well, you have the young women, girls like Mal Pugh, who is already on there, but she's still gonna be like the future, I'm sure. And then Sophie Smith, she's on Portland. She just left college early, so I feel like I think she might have Portland
from UCLA.
She's from Stanford.
Oh, okay.
Ashley Sanchez she's on Washington. She went to UCLA. And then there's another young girl from Washington date, I think, Morgan Reaver. So there's some names in there. The
Is
US.
that Dennis Rodman's daughter? That one? Morgan?
No, I don't think so. No.
I know there's one on like the U20s. That's
Really?
yeah, Dennis Rodman's daughter. Apparently she's a baller. I don't know.
Hey, see, yeah, US is always a powerhouse. So I know there's, for the years to come, it's going to continue.
Cool.
All right, so we had Sam Johnson on the show a while back, and we asked her this question. So we were always wondering, why is it that some of the talented Black girls end up getting moved to defense? Do you have any insights on that or any theories?
Literally, coaches have tried me at defense multiple times, only as a pro, and it's crazy. I mean, not saying that I can't play defense, but it is a trend. I don't know why that's a thing, but Crystal Dunn, that happened to her. Who else? I mean, I have a couple other friends, Taylor Smith, Midge Purse. Like, I guess the list is running, but I don't know why that is. But we all want to be attackers, but it also for me, it's like it's hard to like shift your so you have an attacking mindset, but then when you're getting moved all over the place, and for me, I sometimes become like a utility player. It's like hard to really focus and become like your best at that one. And sometimes I play the 9, and it's just, and then try to outside back. It's just I'm all over the place, So I don't really know why that is, but it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see a trend. It's almost
game a lot too.
Yes and no. I would say it's a blessing and a curse to be versatile and have talent that can be suited for multiple positions. Right. I would say that there's a trend that if you're African American or Black player, you tend to be the one that has to shift positions rather than other players that are considered specialized players in those positions, where I feel like we can be specialized in those positions as well. But you just gotta, I'm in the proponent like, if I'm on the field, I'm good. I'd rather be on the field than on the bench. But obviously, if I'm better at a certain position, I don't want to have to make space for someone else.
Right.
And have to play somewhere where I'm not as good. So it's a blessing and a curse, but there definitely is a trend there. And it's good to see people talk about it a little bit more and have it kind of being brought up a little bit more as well.
Right. I like that conversation. Got me thinking.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So Jamia, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Where can we find you? See all the wonderful things you're doing, not only on the field but off the field. I know you got some really cool collaborations, not only that you've done but are in the works. You mentioned the Saturday footballs thing that you can't talk about yet, or can you?
I gave you guys some hints already, but it's gonna be coming out soon. So just on my Instagram, usually I'm keeping people updated. I try to tweet too, but I struggle. But Instagram, it's usually I put all my stuff on there usually. So.
All right, perfect. So follow your Instagram. We're definitely gonna have it in the show notes. With that being said, where we at?
We're gonna have to get you some 2Cents FC gear too.
Oh, most definitely. I see that Jamia 2Cents collab for sure. For sure. But yeah, that's our show for the week. Thank you so much, Jamia, for coming on. Subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us get discovered. Follow us on the socials at 2Cents FC. Check us out on the merch at 2centsports.shop. It helps support the show. We're going to get Jamia hooked up with some of that as well. And tweet us your comments on the show, any topics you want me or Elle to discuss. Send in your questions. Thank you so much for the question today. I'm forgetting the name of who sent it. Elle, who sent the question?
Donald One.
Yeah, Donald One. Thank you. But yeah, that's it.
Thank y'all.
Peace.
Peace.